Obviously, Google with Gemini are hugely accelerating development on theirs. Perplexity, I don't know what underlying LLM Perplexity use. I don't know whether they've got their own, or but are we going to end up in another one huge private organization leading this? Or seeing what's happened with Stargate and Donald Trump taking $500 billion of public money to invest into AI infrastructure projects, $100 billion straight into Texas to build data centers. Are we going to see some sort of pseudo-private public entity owning this dominating generative AI interface for the population? I don't know how it's going to play out, but it could be interesting.
Yeah, I think that you're going to see the open source movement win out.
Really?
Yeah. I think that Gen AI as a capability is actually multifaceted. And you're seeing that, right? Was it Deepseek? The Chinese LLM, right? Completely open source, as good as O1. O1, which is just a month ago, yeah? So the ability for the open source industry to come in and to catch up, and I think eventually will outpace the private investment that's happening.
Even to the US public money investment.
To the extent that I think that the private ones will start to conform and want to become more open source. That doesn't mean that there won't still be some closed source ones.
Oh, so they'll move away from a proprietary closed LLM to...
They'll open source their models, like just what Meta has done from day one, right? I mean,
I quite like Llama because of that. And I've seen the recent, Zuckerberg, and he was there at the US inauguration. He's kind of like moving around politically. Actually, from a purist perspective of open sourcing Llama language model from early, I thought that was quite a brave and good move.
The right thing to do.
Yeah, I thought it was the right thing to do.
Exactly. And I genuinely think that as a capability, that the open source world is the answer eventually.
So does IFS leverage open source LLMs? Where are you in terms of
We use OpenAI today, but we're actively looking at Hugging Face, and not just for the underlying LLM, but Hugging Face is the de facto kind of pipeline, right, for Gen AI.
Yeah.
And then on that, we're going to be using different models, right? We're currently evaluating Deepseek. There's different kind of dimensions to it, right? We need to know that it's safe to use, and these big language models. I mean, yes, open source, great, but even the open source versions of it, you need to be able to know kind of what the heck is going on under the hood, right? Which doesn't only require deep specialization. Of course, it does. It also requires heavy compute power, right, for you to be able to really understand what's going on under. So we are evaluating, but we've also gone with speed to market, right? Speed to market means we're not going to build our own LLM or foundation model.